For the women out there who do not understand why a lot of these men don't want to pay y'all bills, I need y'all to listen to this right here. But before we get into the video, do me a favor, like the video, leave a comment, and if you really want to show your boy some love, hit that hype button. It really helps me out with the algorithm, and it is much appreciated.
The only women that could ever sit up and say that I'm jealous of them are the women whose men pay all the bills and they get to just live their life. Go to Pilates, shopping, keep the house tidy. Like, I'm jealous of y'all.
Now, I know a lot of you women are probably wondering, what is the problem with what she just said? Where is the issue? Well, this is the issue that I have, and I know a lot of other men have with a lot of you women. It's all about y'all. Y'all don't want to do anything for these men. What this lady is basically saying is the only way she would be happy is if she was living like one of the housewives of Hollywood. That's basically what she's saying. Going to Pilates, shopping, sitting around at the pool, going to brunch with her friends. That's what she's talking about. She did throw in there tidying up the house, but trust me, it won't be too long before she starts screaming slavery. And I know what you're thinking. You got all that from that little clip? Yes, because I told you can't just listen to what women are saying. You have to translate it. When she said the only women I would be jealous of are women who can go to Pilates and shopping, that was her way of saying she's not jealous of a stay-at-home mother or stay-at-home wife. And that's because she doesn't want to be either one of those. She just wants somebody to pay her bills so she can do whatever she want to do. There are some women out there who are a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mother, or they plan to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mother, and they're excited about it. And it's not for the stuff that she's talking about. They're happy because they get to stay home with their children. They're home when the kids get off the school bus. They're able to take the kids to practice and different things. They can be a part of their kids' lives. And on top of that, they want to take care of their husband. They want to make his life easier. They want to be there for their family. But not you women. She didn't say one thing about the family. It is all about her. This is how a lot of these modern women think. When they say they want you to pay their bills, they just don't want to work anymore. That's it. It has nothing to do with the family or the husband or the kids. They just don't want to go to work. That's all it is. You ain't got to believe me. Just listen to them.
It's come to my attention that I actually realized that I don't want to work for a living. I don't want to work for a living. I don't want to work. What's your dream job? What do you want to do for what do you want to do for a career? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't want to be working.
And when I say I want the softest life ever, I meant that. Just to be able to wake up in the morning and just feel peace, not have a worry in the world, look pretty, get cute. That's all I want, that's all I desire.
Call me lazy, call me non-ambitious, call me crazy, call me a loser. I do not care anymore. I have realized that I'm simply just not built for work. I do not want to work anymore. Deep down in my soul, I just know it's not meant for me. I want to lay in the grass somewhere and simply just exist. I truly need a life where I could just wander through fields, pick flowers, create, sing, write, and still be taken care of.
I want everything handed to me with little to no effort on my behalf. I want my life to be easy. I don't want to struggle to prove myself. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to contribute to society in any meaningful way, or at least not in the traditional sense. And I don't even want to leave my bedroom a lot of the time. And I think that that's what I deserve. I think I deserve to get everything handed to me. Just because I'm alive, just because I exist.
Deserving something just because you exist is wild, but this is what we're working with. And the divorce rate is high because of stuff like this. Because soon as things get a little hectic and they can no longer do the stuff they're talking about in this video, you know, like go to Pilates, pick flowers, go shopping, lay in bed all day, or whatever else they want to do, and they actually have to get up and be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mother, they're quick to want to get out of that marriage because this is what they believe a stay-at-home wife is supposed to do. And I say this all the time, even though I'm not a passport bro, I understand why these men go to other countries, because if they're gonna go over there and pay all the bills, at least they're getting something in return. Those women take pride in taking care of their man. They want to serve their man. They want to make sure he's happy. Most of them were raised to do that. These women over here, they just want to be happy. Has nothing to do with you. And this is why a lot of men over here don't want to pay y'all bills, because paying the bills overseas in most situations, it's going to turn you into a well cared for husband. But paying the bills in America in most situations is just going to turn you into a sponsor. And I know this isn't all American women. I do know there are some women here who are still doing it the right way, but a lot of these women over here, they want everything from a man, but they're not willing to give him anything, and that mindset is what I'm tired of.
People want to talk about how women today are the worst generation of women. Let's talk about the last generation. Now, I love you, Mom, but I gotta do it to you. My mom is a single black mother, 5'1", 230 pounds, unemployed, lives off Section 8, all that. And she feels as if I asked her one day, how much do your man gotta make a year? Now, she had the balls to say 150K. 150K, nigga. Bro, do you know that there's only 1% of niggas out here making 150K a year? And them niggas wouldn't choose a 5'1", 230-pound, unemployed, single black woman with 3 kids. It's just not making any sense, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And shout out to Kevin Samuels, but most of these like females that they be having on the show sound exactly just like my mom, or look and act just like my mom. And those are the women leading today's women, bro. Let me know how y'all think.
I swear, when he was talking before he mentioned Kevin Samuels, I was thinking his mother was probably one of those women on Kendra G or Kevin Samuels' show, because she sounds just like one of them. Now, I want to say I hope this young man moved out of his mother's house, because I don't think she's going to let him in tonight if she see this video. But nothing he said was wrong. Everything he said was 100% correct. Just because it's his mother doesn't change the fact that what he's saying is true. And I made a video before talking about I feel bad for these kids who have to grow up watching their mothers online embarrassing them. And I think you're going to see a lot more of these kids growing up just like this, because their mothers didn't care about embarrassing them, so they're not going to care about embarrassing their mothers. But like I said, the boy is correct. If she's 5'1", 230 pounds, doesn't have a job, on Section 8, and she's talking about he's going to have to make $150K, that is insane. But that is also proof to when I say you can't ask women what they want, because they'll just say anything. His mother know good and damn well that's not going to happen. But if you ask her that question, they're going to say anything. I told y'all it's the same as asking a 4-year-old kid what do they want for Christmas. I want a spaceship, I want a robot, I want a dinosaur. They just say anything, but I don't think a lot of them believe it. They just say it because it sounds good. But at least we know somebody from her family is living in reality, because her son ain't with none of that. But I think the young man's gonna be okay. Like I said before, I hope he has a place to stay, because he's probably not gonna be able to go home. And he also better be ready for his other family members to have a problem with him, because the one lesson he's probably gonna learn from this is people don't like when you tell the truth. So it is what it is, young man, but good luck out there.
If a man cannot fully financially provide for you,
wait a damn minute.
No. No.
Alright, that's it. I've had about enough of this. This is out of control. You women gotta start being honest with your friends and start holding them accountable, because the only reason she feels comfortable coming online saying this is because she probably got some girlfriends around her pumping her head up like some flat tires. Lady, please get off these people's internet and go sit down somewhere.
I'm tired of this.
I feel any man in 2026 who's trying to say that women don't care about physical appearance, they're crazy and they're just in denial. Looks and money is the name of the game, guys. That's all women care about. But see, one thing that hurt me a lot in my life is that for years I wanted to believe that women cared about what's on the inside of you. For years I wanted to believe that the church is where all the good women are. There are no good women out there, guys. And I hope that this video resonates with a lot of guys to understand there's no such thing as a good woman.
One of you heifers don't put this man through it, because he ain't feeling none of y'all right now. But I do want to address a couple things that he said. When he said all women care about nowadays are your looks and your money, there's some truth to that, but there's also a reason for that as well. See, women have always cared about a man's looks, but back in the days, they didn't believe they had the same options that they think they have today. See, back then, they had to date the men in their communities. So if you didn't get the cute guy that treated you good, you just had to date the guy that treated you good. And if he was ugly, he was ugly. But back then, women focused more on the inside, because if they were going to marry you, they needed you to have certain qualities. So looks wasn't that high on their list when they knew they needed other things. But let's skip to the day with online dating and social media. These women feel like they have options on top of options. These women feel like they have access to men all over the world. Now they're willing to wait it out to see if they can find a guy who looks good and still offer all the other stuff that they want as well. Now, the people in the real world, we understand that their options are no better than they were back in the days, but these women don't know that. They still think they're going to go out there and meet Brad Pitt or Morris Chestnut. He's going to make $1 million a month. He's not going to cheat on them. He's going to love them to death. That's what they're waiting on. And this is why it's not going to work out for a lot of them. But the fact is, women have always cared about looks. And the thing he said about money, the same thing applies. They've always wanted money. They just feel like they have more chances to get it now because of social media. But if these women had to date like back in the days where they had to date from their community or pick from the men around them, these women would not be running around here screaming 6 figures, 6 feet tall and handsome. They'll be out here sounding just like those women did back in the days. When you told somebody that you met a new man or that you were seeing somebody new, they asked you 3 questions. Does he treat you good? Is he a good man? And does he have a job? They didn't ask you if he was 9 feet tall or he made $8 million a month or how good does he look. They didn't ask none of that stuff because they knew none of that was important. Who he was as a man is all that mattered. In some situations, he could have been married. They still wanted you to keep him.
He's a good man, Savannah. A
good man.
And the thing he said about meeting good women in church, men have figured that out a long time ago. A lot of those women in church are just as bad as those women in the streets. In a lot of situations, those women in the church are the women in the streets. So yeah, men ain't falling for that anymore. But when you said there is no such thing as a good woman, I disagree with that. I believe there are some good women out there. I always say you gotta dig for them. You gotta search. But there are some good women out there. To lump a whole gender in the group because you had some bad experiences with them, that to me is crazy. That's the same thing I would say to a woman who will come on here and say there are no good men. We have to pick better women to be around, just like those women have to pick better men to be around. So I do agree with some of the stuff he said, but I can't get down with that last part. I personally believe when you're going through something and you come online with a message like that, when you're asking men to listen to you and follow what you're saying, I think you are doing just as much damage to the dating world as these bitter single women. I'm just being honest with you, bro. But that's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts on the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.